titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Wow. Yes. Turn down my headphones. I'm clipping. All right. We're doing it Saturday, 3 p.m. Dr. Hughes show. Never know who will show up on the Dr. Hughes show. I don't even know. Right. But for now, you got me. You got plenty of this pro wrestling news that we're going to talk about. I got clips. I got funnies. I got things to talk about out here. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the channel for new videos like this with Sami Zayn. It's going to show you the ass way. Got shorts, plenty of shorts, so eat my shorts. And yeah, right. Am I done advertising? I have my own t-shirt. You can't get it yet. I'm going to have to talk to Dave Sarah. He's the guy that makes all the t-shirts. More on that later as well. So we got all kinds of things happening over here on the Dr. Hughes Show channel, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Rumble. I mean, do we really pay attention to those a little bit? I mean, a little bit. Some people do. The old timers like to go to Twitch, which is funny. It used to be for kids back in the day, right? Now it's like Facebook. I don't want to speak too loud. I don't want them to hear me. Wake them up from their naps. Well, these Twitch users, get to YouTube, hit the like button. All right. Next. Now that we're done with that, let's go into a little monologue here. Could be a 3-hour, 4-hour monologue, so buckle your fucking seatbelts, everybody. What do we want to start with? You know what? Let's start looking at clips. Let's get warmed up. Let's get lubed up. We're in the afternoon. It's a Saturday afternoon main event. I got a little laugh out of this. So this is David Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. He's a lightning rod out here in the wrestling verse. But listen to the way that he's greeted. Just for being at a show. I think AAA, he's amongst the Mexican wrestling fans. And I think I play it by hitting this button here.
Periodismo especializado en lucha libre a nivel mundial. Recibamos en esta arena México con un fuerte aplauso al editor del Wrestling Observer Newsletter, Dave Meltzer. Bienvenido.
Yay, holy shit.
Periodismo especializado en lucha libre.
So it says, if you don't speak Spanish, tonight we are honored by the presence of one of the most influential and renowned voices in professional wrestling journalism worldwide. I mean, I thought they were going to talk about me, even though they were showing him on the screen. Then it goes on, let us welcome with a loud round of applause the editor of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer. And the Mexican fans they were like, what? Who this? Who this? That's what they were like. Right, Paladin? Shout out to Paladin in the building. And all the other people. We turn these shows into podcasts. And I'll tell you, it's up 140% on the podcast scene. So the radio version, super over. We got to get this YouTube version over. So everybody can gaze and gawk upon the Huge and my guests and Dave Meltzer here. Right? And then everybody can say this to me.
Yeet.
Right?
Yeet.
We can all do this together.
Yeet. Yeet.
Yeet.
appropriately, the way it should be done, the professional way, not the ass way like Sami Zayn. Right, Sammy? Where are you, Sammy? Can I bring this picture up too? Let's do it. Professionals. Yep. We're professionals. He's doing it the ass way. Already lost the title and shit. I mean, what? You're crazy, Sammy.
What?
If they even wanted to put the belt on me like that, WWE saying I'm in Sami Zayn's position, I wouldn't want it. I would tell him, I'm not taking the belt for a week. But I would actually rather not have the championship ever and then be known as like a Roddy Piper, like what if, and he should have, and doing it this way. Now it's like, well, you were champ, right? That was cool, right? Kind of like Kofi Kingston, but Kofi Kingston, people just wanted it for the Mania moment. With Sami Zayn, that was no Mania moment. That was a Saudi Arabian moment. This isn't anything against them. Just saying, I'm in America. Why do I give a shit if he wins it there? You know what I mean? I don't even want the WWE to go to these places, become more global, because then everything gets worse, if you've noticed. But then again, I did get Netflix once more. I seen a run of 2-3 weeks of good clips of Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to start watching Monday Night Raw. I will report back as I usually do. I mean, it's not like I'm missing much either way, but, if you build it, I will come, right? Something like that. Right? Get it? Anyway, here's another clip. I can't believe I'm showing all these Wrestling Observer people right out the gates. And listen, I don't listen. I don't really care. But I did hear this a little while ago. And I'm not going to play this whole clip or anything. Of course, we do it properly. We follow YouTube TOS rules to a T over here, right? So this is definitely fair use. I don't understand why when I play a smidge of Logan Paul, they come at me and try to take my whole live down and everything. But then when I play like this or that, you just don't know. This is borderline where they would try to mess with Dr. Huge and his channel, but we're going to play it anyway because I do it for the people. Get like and subscribe and share this. Let everybody know that we're live right now. Thank you.
The show was not good. This was a badly booked show, okay? Yes, there was some good wrestling on it. There was so much nonsense on this show. And it was like...
Little context. This is David Alvarez, Brian Alvarez, whatever his name is. He's going to... I love how they all put their little trophies in the back. I'm way better than you. Am I more knowledgeable about... Do I watch every second of AEW? Of course not. So, sure. You maybe got it on me on that, but do you? Because this take has been my take ever since I seen 15 minutes of AEW wrestling back in the day. And I check in on it every once in a while, and it really doesn't change. But he's going to explain to you what I've already laid out over the years, but he's got the silver plaque. Got it.
This post I read before the show, this hero worship of Tony, was like so incredible. Guys, this is the equivalent of, this guy is a millionaire that should be a billionaire. That famous line from CM Punk. I realize this guy actually is a billionaire, but my point is this. You guys don't get my criticisms. This place has so much more potential than they've achieved.
Because I think a lot of the AEW fans or people that may listen to this, right? And he's like, I'm criticizing it, but they're actually good critiques. And of course, there's plenty to be criticized all over the place with all this pro wrestling. Clearly, I'm not an E guy or an E drone or whatever the kids say. I've been goofing on them worse than anybody forever. But, I grew up with that. The AEW stuff, you're supposed to be different and this and that, and you are, right? And you got some good key elements to what you do, especially with the PLEs and the stuff that you got going on with that. Got good matches. Some stories are good, but overall, it's just, here's some wrestling. You know these guys, right? You don't? Oh, well, watch them wrestle. It'll be a good match, but What is it about? There's no real story here. There's nothing going on here. So I digress. I'm going to let him go on because he's going to explain pretty much the same thing.
They underperform. Yes, I realize they are the number 2 promotion. I realize that they've come to a point where they're the second biggest promotion there's ever been. I realize that, okay? They are distantly behind WWE. Their television tapings do half a WWE house show. Guys, my point is, this shouldn't happen. There is no reason that they shouldn't be significantly bigger than they are right now. Look.
And I agree because the way everything is now, you got all of this attention from the little devices that we're all carrying around. Way different than WCW trying to catch WWE back in the day. And the WWE got complacent early 90s, mid 90s. It was very goofy. So WCW, they changed it up, right? They made it a little edgier before WWE had to pivot and had to do the same thing. But something's got to happen where we got eyes on everything now. It's blowing my mind. The comic books are coming back. You know, we had the COVID period where all collectibles blew up. And then that's how the markets do. That's how pro wrestling is. That's how entertainment is. It comes in waves, generally. But it's already back. People are trying to buy more now. And I can't even get my hands on any. That you can kind of sustain that with pro wrestling these days if you do the works correctly. If you try to keep things buttoned up and surprising so there's no leaks and things. You've got, again, he's going to point it out. They got all the talent in the world. But where's the storytelling? Where's the taking this pro wrestling to another level where you're going to draw more eyes and then keep them on you just because, you know, the Stone Cold Steve Austin effect, the Rock effect, this and that. I know the Attitude Era isn't necessarily coming back, but I mean, there's a lot you can do, bro, especially with AEW. They're not committed to the PG and all this either. But just having Tony Storm come out and say, cunt and things, that ain't gonna get over with it. Really, anybody. Just try a little bit more instead of putting Tony Khan's little dream matches with his toys out there and go, look at this. Isn't this cool? Yeah, it's okay.
Look at the fucking talent this place has. Look at their roster. They've got national television. They've got Max. They've got everything they need to be so much bigger than they are. And one of the problems is, and actually this main event can tell you everything. Why? Let me ask you a serious question. Why was Willow and Hyan and Maya World versus Divine Dominion and Mercedes with nothing on the line? Why did this main event this show?
Exactly. Why any of this? That's why you always there has to be a point, AEW, Tony Khan specifically. You can't just be marking for yourself and all that and be like, oh, I can't wait to see this match and we'll put this together and this will make these people happy and this and that. For what? For what? There's no story. There's no, what are you going to do? The cheap, somebody sucker punches somebody backstage or something, turns into a match. It's all horse shit. Again, the Lucha Underground idea is sitting right there. It's not even coming back. I thought it was possibly coming back when they were talking about putting new pictures and media up on social media. Like, ooh, Lucha Underground. But they're basically just going to put it back on Netflix or something. I don't know. But listen, there's so much you can do with this pro wrestling. There's so much you can do with the social media aspect of it, keeping things real, right? As real as possible. But it's like they're not even trying. Not even a little bit. So why would I care about any of all this fake beefing and fake fighting? I'm not a child, right? Might look like a little bit of a child, but I'm not. And this is a guy that's watching the product all the time. And trust me, I doubt he would be as much as a fan as he is or whatever. But just like Dr. Huge, if he wasn't doing his show, he wouldn't be wasting his time with this shit. AEW or WWE.
That was my question when they announced it early in the show. I was like,
All right, well, let's move on from that clip. We heard enough. You know. Love to have you on, Brian Alvarez, right? Oh, Felicia, she's another dig at her ex-boyfriend here, Pat. What's his name? Pat Dixon. That's right, you Dabbleverser. You guys know about the Dabbleverse. 30 years of dressing for the job you want, despite being unhireable. Get it? So we like that because, you know, Dr. Huge isn't, I'm not amused by this Pat Dixon. I don't understand why he's such a big deal. I think if you just have credits in the Dabbleverse, people go, oh, wow. It's fucking meaningless to me if you don't make me laugh or, you know, make me entertained. So there's that. Anyway, Tom Brady, he's in the works game. You stick to the Dabbleverse. They should make Tom Brady go through the Dabbleverse first before he starts getting up into the WWE realm of works. And same thing with Logan Paul. I know he's been around for a while now, but holy shit, Logan Paul, get out of my wrestling. Get out of my life. You know, all you do, it seems like out here is like scheming and scamming. And your works is so, anybody can see through your works, bro, except for what, your little kid fans. And Tom Brady with his coconut juice, his nut juice, and, you know, his weird ass products. These guys are Illuminati'd out, probably partaking in baby meat.
You're not God
what?
or my father or my boss.
Bagel Boss, what are you doing here? What page is that?
I love you.
What page is this?
A lot of people violate rule number 40 of John Cena's house rules in the living room by forgetting to use drink coasters.
Well, I got my drink coaster, John. I'm looking for your laugh. That's right. That's the baby eating laugh. A-Track. But you would agree, right? Tom Brady, he should come up through the ranks. He should pay his dues. Like certain people we know. That's right. They call it Good Nut. Tom Brady's new product, folks. You know, that's what they call food and beverages these days, everybody. Product. Do you like your product? They even talk, that's how they talk about wrestling. That's how they talk about the world. So if you're not in product corporate mode, then you're going to be left behind in this new world, the golden age, right, Trump? Is this even Trump's America? I don't know. But let's watch Tom Brady slap Logan Paul in this very, very upsetting work. You know, very boring, mediocre at best work. And at Fanatics, of all places, where they can't even get the fucking merchandise right. Everything's, it's too expensive. Hit the like button. What kind of slap is this? Look at this. And he blocked it too, kind of. He knew it was coming. So he worked it. That's how they went backstage before this, and he's like, all right, you slap me here, and I'll get ready. Give me a cue, and then I'll put my hand up and block it. Yeah. So Tom Brady versus Logan Paul soon. They've been working on this for a while, the flag football game in Saudi Arabia and all these things. Remember that picture? Did you guys see the picture of Tom Brady when he was training to go to Saudi Arabia to play in a flag football game? Flag Gino, right? So he takes this picture and he's in full like throwing motion, Al Bundy style. And he's in these like tight little tiny jean shorts, almost booty cheek shorts. They're like practically Daisy Dukes. And this is coming from me. Listen, I was always a Tom Brady guy, of course. I'm a Patriots fan. But what the hell has he turned into? And I like pro wrestling. Now, if this had happened 10, 15 years ago, I might be on board, even though he would have never stepped foot in a ring or gotten near any pro wrestlers or anything like that. While he's, trying to obtain 7 Super Bowls and go to 10 of them or whatever. But, having him here now after the fact, while he's selling his good nut everywhere and he's selling, overpriced almonds and other nuts. He's probably selling, who knows? Maybe he's selling like 3 types of nuts out here. Maybe. That's how they make a good nut, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Oh, dropping fucking loads.
Mm-hmm. That's Faction Jackson. All right. Let's watch the rest of the clip, I guess. And look at these fucking pants. Bro, and I'm not even saying anything. I've been wearing pants like this since the 90s. And people like, get those skinny jeans. When the late 2000s started coming around. Get those skinny jeans on, Dr. Huge. Why are you wearing army pants and things? And now they're all doing it. Now they're all jacking my style. My style. Gotta let my nuts hang and breathe. I thought you guys were all in the skinny jeans and pulling them halfway down and everything. Tom Brady even. Maybe when he got back from Saudi Arabia wearing those tight, little Reno 911 shorts, he was like, you know what? Now that I'm back in America, loose-fitting pants. This is so fucking hack. The police didn't even get involved. If this was real life, this guy, Sheriff, McDougal or whatever. He seems like a McDougal, and I'm only looking at his back. He would go up there and say, "Stop resisting," and twist Tom Brady's good throwing arm. "Stop resisting." Just keep screaming that over and over while he's, manhandling him. Yep. I got my own story made up. I would have produced a much better angle than that. Like, what is this? Got it. You're trying to get things going for yourselves. And it is trending. And it's very easy for them to do it because, one's Tom Brady, one's Logan Paul, and they're just branding and stealing from everybody. And people are like, yeah, you guys are good at that. Got it. Tom Brady ain't even winning Super Bowls no more. Why does anybody care? Not me. Again, I'm one of the biggest New England Patriots fans you'll ever know. I got an autograph off of Tom Brady in person. He went to one of my local bars, and I knew all the Patriots were going to be there. Very cool team. It was after they won that first championship too. I met Vrabel, the coach of the Patriots now. He was chilling. Brewski, hanging out with him, Willie McGinnis. I can go on. And I played video games with Lawyer Malloy. Who remembers these guys, right? But, of course, on a football team, you don't just need a quarterback. You need blockers and receivers and this and that. But Brady got all the attention. He was walking around this bar. It's a bar arcade deal, like a big place. Club. And he's walking around when he first got there, supporting his boys on the team. One of them had it was like a charity deal there. And it was like he was Jesus Christ. And he was walking around. And I mean, like the way he had like followers, like Jesus will walk around like, Jesus land. And then he would have like a crowd behind him just following him to watch him play. What's the one where you take the balls and you throw them up and they go in the holes? People literally gathered around him to watch him to play these arcade games from like the 70s. And I was laughing my ass off. But my brother's a big memorabilia collector his whole life. And there happened to be a full-blown Patriots helmet that I was just hanging out with. And he wasn't signing for anybody. He was always kind of tough like that. That was the rumors. That's what I heard. So, Dr. Huge, knowing the game and everything, He tried to walk by with, his disciples and all his people and everything. And I stuck that fucking helmet like right in his face. Just like this. I went, please sign my helmet, Tom. And then he proceeded to take the pen from me and he wrote Tim at the top. Very, very little. It looks like Tim, but he basically just went squiggly line at the top. But you know what? I know that's his signature. The people I was with, they know that was his signature. What a story, right? And then 20-something years later, in the news, maybe a year or two ago, remember there was a whole scandal about Tom Brady coming in and he ruined a bunch of people's memorabilia that they paid like $25K for in some cases or whatever. It was like a pre-order type deal. So he was supposed to just show up at some warehouse or show it backstage and just write his name on a bunch of products. Well, first of all, he didn't even do most of them. And then some of them, the ones he did write on, because he was like, I don't want to do this, even though he's probably contracted to do it, he started scribbling on them. Just like he scribbled on my helmet. And he did it. It was like this big. So say your average autograph that people put on a helmet is like that, 3-4 inches. His probably not even an inch. It was just like a tiny little squiggle at the top. But I'll take it. We got him. I was probably the only one that got an autograph that day. And what's going on? Rib Shot is in the house. Tim Brady, how dare you disrespect the GOAT like that? There's word though. Rib Shot. Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback ever in NFL history. I don't give a fuck what Phil Simms kid says. Chris Sims, you're an idiot. You're a clout chaser. He came out with a thing this past week. Top 10 quarterbacks in their prime list. And tell you this list, holy shit.
It's the shits.
It was the complete shits. Let's get him pictured up here behind me while I talk about this list. Where's the slap? Oh, there it comes. Man, he's fast. There. Look how weak of a slap that is, first of all. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, Chris Sims, you're a stupid idiot. We all know what you're doing. You even got me talking about you because your list was that fucking bad. And you're in the national media. You talk about pro football, what a lot of me and my boys like. And you're wrong most of the time. Most of the time, which is like, how do you have a job when you're wrong most of the time? And all you got to do is talk about something that you're supposed to be knowledgeable about. Okay, Peyton Manning's your number one quarterback of all time. You're wrong. I'm not like disgusted by it, but you're definitely wrong. I'm trying to think of the list right now. Basically, he puts Tom Brady at 8 or 9. He's got Josh Allen in front of him, Lamar Jackson, and Mahomes. I think Mahomes was 2. No Montana on the list. Remember Joe Montana? No Joe Montana, no Steve Young. He had Roger Staubach at 10, which is okay. But you think Staubach's top 10? And you're leaving Montana off? Tom Brady at 8? The hell are you talking about? Aaron Rodgers was in there at like 4 or 5? Whew. Was Tom Brady a better quarterback than Ted DiBiase Jr.? I doubt it. Well, if DiBiase Jr., didn't get forced into that pro wrestling, kind of like Michael Jackson into the music business, who knows? Probably would have went down with 8 Super Bowl wins, 9 even. But nope, it didn't work out like that. So in reality, Thomas Jeffrey Brady is still the best. Yeah. I mean, and then people are like, Messi, we got the World Cup over here, and it's all Lionel Messi, right? And I'm like, how many fucking Super Bowls has that guy ever won? Huh? I know the number. He ain't won one Super Bowl, bro. So what do I give a shit? Anyway, moving on. That was our pro sports moment. Look, there's Mox coming in with the dog hammer there. Of course, don't forget to watch this video. This is one of my favorite videos I think I've ever done. Probably the greatest promo edit that Dr. Huge has ever put together. This is like some Spielberg, fucking Christopher Nolan type shit. This rivals The Odyssey and does it in like 2 minutes. Just check that out. Look at, there's Sammy. Get out of my life, Sammy. He just keeps showing up in my life. We got to get him out of here. One way or the you want to do it the easy way or the hard way, Sammy. All right, what other videos do we have? I have so many notes. We have so many things. Look, there's Jess. Remember Jess? She's going to Saturday Night Main Event. But this right now, Saturday afternoon main event. All right, I wanted to speak about this. I just thought this was funny, right? So if I'm liking things, I'm trying to bookmark stuff. It's the only way I can, unless I get the special check marks and things, which I don't even want. I could go live on X, but it doesn't really fucking matter. They don't show this video to anybody on X. So come over to YouTube, hit the like button, and subscribe, of course. But this says Liv Morgan is now actively promoting a ministry organization owned by her MAGA boyfriend's mother. The organization is this, which has a ministry partnership with this, a homophobic church that advertises conversion therapy on its website, clown emoji. So this is coming from, a post of a person named Andy with a rainbow flag next to it. And I'm just laughing to myself because I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what anybody's up to out here with any of this shit. But to be doing this deep dives really into Liv Morgan and this and that, and they're like, let's read that because there's more in the thread here. And her fans swear she isn't MAGA when she's not only marrying into a MAGA family, but actively getting involved with an organization run by her MAGA mother-in-law. It wasn't enough for her to simply fuck a MAGA guy. No, she had to get actively involved with the Christo-fascist bullshit this family promotes. Listen, I don't have a dog in the fight, right? I just think it's funny when people go full cult mode one way or another, and it's obnoxious. And then when you want to put, drag people into Liv Morgan, look, oh no, there she is in a ministry church or whatever, where they're going to convert gays or whatever. Like, okay. And if you're like, say, a gay man or whatever, and you're all upset about this, or lady, I guess, I don't know. Who gives a shit? You're still going to watch wrestling, right? Roman Reigns is the big MAGA guy, and everybody hates him because of that. I'm no MAGA guy either. I'm just saying, this is stupid, right? Is it just me? Or are we supposed to be upset about this? Most of the world doesn't care at all about the NFL. It's glamorous rugby with protective padding and adverts. What a load of shit. How dare you? How dare you say that? I think all pro sports are kind of turning into shit now. But come on. There's no way pro football is so entertaining if you know what's going on compared to kicking a ball in a fucking triangle at midfield for an hour or 2 or 3. It's up there with baseball. These guys just like rubbing their crotch and spitting and all right, throw a pitch, and then it's like another 2 minutes until a pitch. I think they worked on that. They try to make they speed the game up and give time limits on certain things, which about time. People were abusing that, just going to the mound and go, oh, wait. Gotta adjust the crotch and do my little, what do they call it? The They're very superstitious. Got to go through rubbing all my hands this way and doing that and throwing dirt over my shoulder, and then I'm ready to hit the ball, right? Oh, don't get me started, because basketball sucks now too. Man, the NBA playoffs they were always great back in the day, but nope, not no more. Everybody got paid too much money. So, hold on. Anyway, next story. I mean, I love the outrage though. And I'm just thinking about her MAGA boyfriend. And who knows, maybe that's why she managed to stay in the WWE so long. Because remember back in the day, I used to be like, I thought she was going to be released at a few different points. But she was just kept on board for whatever reason. And maybe that was the reason. Maybe she was hooked up. Maybe this is just new. Maybe she doesn't even know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. So I don't care. Right? So have at it, Andy. That's your hill to hagrum on, right? Where's my hagrums? Mm-hmm. Yep. BYB. We got Dabbleverse stuff. I know you guys love the Dabbleverse. Not a whole lot of news this week, though. There's a NASA scientist telling us about reality. We could do a quick little what do we call it? CSWNN, right? The conspiracy show with no name from back in the day. And some people, this scares people. Like when you start talking about like ghosts and dimensions and God and things like that, a lot of people get very turned off. In my personal life experience, many women, they don't want to hear about how the world is working or what may be going on, what might not. They don't give a fuck. Like 99% of them. You want to not get laid? Start talking about conspiracy stuff with them, or, you know, otherworldly metaphysics and things. They're like, nah.
Why is the speed of light a constant? It's a virtual reality. In a virtual reality, the highest speed that you can go contiguously, not teleporting around, but just going, is 1 delta x, 1 pixel of distance for 1 pixel of time.
Now, I'm going to let him cook for a second. He's going to say some shit, and I don't believe anything. I think anything that falls into my algorithm, right, and it's pushed to me like, hey, watch this, Dr. Huge, probably not real, right? But it is interesting, and he's explaining how the speed of light can work here because we're basically in a computer. So, cook, old man.
That's it. If every time you update with another pixel at a time, then you can't move more than 1. If you move 2 in a pixel at a time, you've just teleported.
Right.
You've disappeared here and you've appeared over here. But for contiguous space, that means continuous motion. 1 pixel of distance for 1 pixel of time.
And are those pixels the Planck scale?
Yeah. So the pixel of distance is the Planck length, and the pixel of time is the Planck time.
Mm-hmm.
And you divide the length by the time, and you get the speed of light.
Right.
So as fast as you can go through this reality is 1 pixel. The World of Warcraft has a speed limit.
Sure.
They've got a certain resolution. That is their delta T. That's how you update a big model. You update it every delta T. You redraw where everything is.
Right,
so basically, there's sets of rules, and that's how things can work. And what he's talking about with the Planck theory, or Planck whatever, it's basically that, how quantum physicists or whatever, they say that they're like one atom can be in 2 different spots or whatever during these experiments that they do, but they're not really in 2 different spots. They're in the same space. It's just like having a Planck that goes millions and trillions of miles, a piece of wood, and then if you flip that piece of wood over, if you're strong enough, then the other side flips over, even though it's on the other side of space-time or whatever, trillions of miles away. So it's basically, that's the idea, is everything's everything, and then we get AI pictures, right? It ruins it for me. I don't completely hate AI. I think some of the stuff is pretty cool that you can do with it, entertainment-wise and things, but, I don't think I'm going to be using it for a while. I use it here and there, or I did. I do it mainly for thumbnails, but for everybody to have the same thumbnail and stuff these days, oh my God, that's fucking hack. You got to stop with that, bro. No more of the same thumbnail over and over again. Oh my goodness, Chris Jericho. I think your time is up with this, bro. You remember the Painmaker? There he is. Clockwork Orange, fucking, 60-year-old goth over here. And I love Jericho, right? Hasn't blocked me yet. So thank you very much for that. You are one of my favorite wrestlers all time, actually number one. You took HBK's spot once he blocked me on X. So shout out to you, the Painmaker.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
So I know you guys love the Painmaker too, right? But it's looking a little funny the older you get. You could probably pull this off back in the day, but we don't, I'll say less. I don't want you getting on there blocking me. Oh my God, Carl new too. Dave Sayers new shirt. See, I told you, we're going to get him making shirts for us. He's got Shuli new shirts for $18. What? I might have to purchase this and wear it on one of my dabble shows. When I go full dabble on a show, right? We're going full pro wrestling and some other things, but yep. Failed actor Adam Bush. I think they got more shirts coming in the Dabbleverse. Look at this guy from LFG. He's a champion of Evolve now. Harlem Lewis. And he was very intense when he came into LFG even. So they were always going to be pushing him. Shout out to you. Look, there's the font I was talking about from the AI. Where is it? Where was Hogan? I just saw Hogan. There he is. Damn it. It was at the beginning. See? This AI business. This all looks the same. Everything looks like this now. At least for this month. And then it will change, right? The fuck is he doing? Who knows? I don't know what anybody's doing. Don't worry. We got more stuff to look at here, folks. Not that. Here's Jay Leto, friend of the show. Friends of the show here. Not him, though. Or him. Keith Lee. Belief within the industry that Keith Lee is retired from in-ring competition. And I also heard that he is now retired from Mia Yim as well. Got it? And so they're divorced. Which, watch out, Biggie. You're married to her sister. And she might be done with you now. Since your announcement that you're also done wrestling, the neck business. I wonder what Keith Lee's problem is. I know he had some health problems a few years back, with the heart and things. Probably has nothing to do with any experimental, drugs or anything. I'm sure it has nothing to do with that. Nobody should ever bring it up because that would be really stupid. Don't ever bring that stuff up. You don't want to be silly. And then AEW suing Queen of the Ring production company over unpaid sponsorship fees. You got to pay, bro. If you want somebody to sponsor you, pay. All right? I wonder if they didn't make the money with the movie, which they probably didn't, because a lot of movies, books, anything, they don't make it these days. These are passion projects for most people, whether they know it or not. So you're getting taken to court. Not a LOL suit. Imagine, did they really look like that back in the day? These female wrestlers? If so, we need to start building a time machine, right? What else we got? Yeah, more fanatics. Yep. Here's a conspiracy. These guys do look alike, don't they? JD Vance, Erica Kirk, and Michael Aquino. If you know, you know. Again, I'm a guy. I've been out here knowing some things. He's a Satanist who's been in like a in the military is like, I don't know, maybe not a full-fledged general, but he's pretty high up there. He's been around for a long ass time. He used to go on Oprah and stuff in like the 80s. Talk about Satanism and whatnot. They sure do look a lot like him. I do find it weird that JD Vance has had 3 different name changes, right? Isn't that weird? I never believed his shit when he first started coming out going, my Meemaw, I got a Meemaw too, guys, Meemaws. I'm like, really? Got it. And then, of course, this one in the middle, if you're buying this act, holy shit. Holy shit. Like, God bless your heart, right? As they say in the South. Anyway, I think we're done here. We've done seen it all. We've done looked at it all. Yep, Jacob Fatu with the fans. Cool. People selling their comics. We're doing it. And there's Moxley. Moxley the 13th. All right, we're going to watch some clips, but first we're going to get into some hardcore wrestling news, everybody. Get off my screen. Oh my God, this stuff is taking too long. Get off my screen. Anyway, did I tell you to go look at my new video, The Ass Way? It's great. One of my favorites. Go watch that. Hit the like button on that. Hit the like button on this. I mean, it's fine for me to do this. Sammy will never see the video because, he also blocked me too. It's a fact. I mean, I have the evidence. I have the documents. So, Samuel Zane, this is your fault. You drew first blood. You're the one. Okay? They are his kids, yeah? My kids now. I'm the captain now. I'm glad CM Punk, Hulk Hogan's your ass. I'm glad CM Punk took what you thought was your title, which you were just clearly placeholding and getting a cheap pop in Saudi Arabia. I'm so happy that stupid ass CM Punk took your title. Now you're going to go back and attack him, right? You're going to stay in the main event scene in our lives. We don't want that. We didn't ask for that. I'm going to speak for everybody when I say we definitely never wanted it, don't want it, get out of our lives again. But the Sami Zayn is just going to keep forcing it. What are you, married to a MAGA guy or something? You married to a Christo-fascist churchgoer that's trying to convert the homosexuals out here? Is that what's going on? Because we at the Dr. Huge show, maybe we do stand with that. Maybe we don't. I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, it is kind of weird when you think about it. Imagine like you're like, I like butts. And then you're like, wait, but, my ideology is in line with this ancient text, right? So then you like, you go, you know what? We're going to make sense of this and force this ancient text into what we want, right? You can't do that. That's you're playing too many games, too many mental gymnastics, right? When you're doing that type of stuff. So yeah, you can be upset with it, but you can't be like, apparently the people that are involved with it are believing in that, right? So I'm saying like, there seems to be a war between the alphabet groups. One side because there must be people that do, I don't know. I think it's all wild to me. Again, one way or another, I'm not caring. I just, I find it interesting because of the mind games people are playing with themselves and allowing these groups to play with them. So that's all. Right? Did I make my point? I don't think I really made my point or any point, but moving on. It's all your fault, Liv Morgan. Right? You trust this face, folks? You trust this one? She's crazy. At least that's how she's crazy on TV. And Triple H loves it. Shout out to you, Triple H. I'm waiting for Triple H to come on one day. He'll be on one of these days. He's watched some of my shows before. He was very interested. They scouted us. They scouted the Dr. Huge show, and then they went, yeah, that's too hardcore for us. We're not doing that. We're not going to deal with these fucking guys. Even though you got a whole podcast station. Huh? You know, I'll podcast for food. Triple H. I'm way better than Logan Paul. And I'll do it all the time. Unlike he does. He just shows up and acts like, you know, it's Logan Paul. Like, is that worth it for you? Maybe it is. You know, you guys got your MAGA connections and things out here, right? MAGA this and MAGA that. So I'm looking for pictures to show. My next story here has nothing to do with this picture. I just wanted to show that. Jim Johnston taking shots at the E. Of course, he's said things about their music and stuff before. He was the guy that, you know, produced all the legendary tracks, the Stone Colds, the this, the that. Jim Johnston is a beast. I don't know why they got rid of him. I don't know why they haven't brought him back yet. But even him, he's talking about it. He's like, remember back in the day, you'd be like in the kitchen making food or whatever, but you would hear somebody's music and you knew exactly who it was. You don't have that anymore. You can't really tell who's who. If you're making sandwiches in the kitchen, somebody comes out, because like Johnston says, this is soulless music and it's just, we all know it sucks. There's bangers here and there. Braun Breaker's song, banger. Tiffany Stratton's first song, banger. She's got a heel song right now. Maybe it's because when she first came up or moved up, she was a heel. But when they changed over to that super obnoxious song, she's been like a good guy most of the time. And that song stinks. We got to get rid of, go back to the early one. That early one was amazing. When she had daddies, she even wants this. She knows what's best for business. These guys act like they don't, though. Triple H and the boys. Tiffany Stratton's like, I need to get back to like being a heel or something and, you know, having daddies take care of me and being like a sugar baby type thing. Yes, that would be amazing. It would work. You could fold these things into other stories with other crazy characters, but there's not a whole lot of crazy characters. And then when they do make one, like Lyra Valkyria, right? She shows up, no makeup, hair all in her face and all that. She's all depressed and weird now. Maybe it will grow on me, but I don't know. It doesn't feel real. Maybe too an abrupt of change or something. Maybe she's more fitted to be just a good guy out here. And they never really gave her the real hard good guy push. She got the IC championship and then nothing came of it. And there was no real chase to it. Because when it comes down to it, if you're a babyface, you got to have that real good chasing a good villain run to get that belt from him. And I don't even remember who she beat for it. What was it, Becky Lynch? She stinks. Can't stand Becky Lynch. And in more news of her, I'm sure she's a nice person in real life, whatever. The character, the man, never liked it. And there's news that she's been depressed. And I get it. Anybody can be depressed. Doesn't matter if you're married to the love of your life, right? Seth freaking Rollins in the same business as you. Doesn't matter if you got, a new baby and a family and you're secure and you're rich and you're famous and you're selling books. Still depressed. Still depressed. So, I don't know. Get well. Get well, the man. Right? Just, If she's depressed, then I should be doing Jeff Hardy off of a skyscraper, right? That's all I have to say about that. Plus, where is everybody today? Not even hey, I can't make it today.
Nobody wants to play with me.
What? Oh, I got one a little while ago. The sleaze hit me up. All right. That's right. Better check in with your boss. Always check in when you come into New England. You got to check in with Dr. Huge, just like all the gangbangers do. I make them check in too. Yep. Rhea Ripley. She's hurt. I don't know if she's vacating the title. I heard she was. I think Pierce had made a social media post about that yesterday, saying that they're going to have a ladder match or some horseshit gimmick to give the title to somebody else. I'm sure she didn't want to give it up. She probably tried to hold on to that thing. Listen, I lost respect for all these people. I get it, everybody wants money and things, but when I seen her and Buddy Murphy on the old Whatnot, where Dr. Huge is, by the way, I got some comics to show. I bought some this week to prove that this Whatnot is the real deal. And follow me at Dr. Huge on there, Dr. Huge on Whatnot. But when they were on Whatnot and Buddy Murphy's trying to sell her phone cover, and it got up to like $600, and of course it was fake, it was a scam or whatever. People in the chat going, "Oh, it's not real, because people are just betting up on it, and then they were going to cancel it or whatever." Because there's scumbag buyers out there as well. But to be like, "Oh man, we were about to get $600 for this," no, that's stupid. That's the shits. Don't sell your fucking phone case covers.
It's the shits.
I remember back in the day, I'd listen to old Stern. He would go on with his people and he'd be yelling at his people. Of course, for many different reasons. I'm not saying it's like the right thing to do. Like if I had people working for me on the biggest radio show in the world, I wouldn't mind paying them a healthy wage, especially if I'm killing it, right? $500 million deals and shit like that. I would definitely keep at least $5 million aside to make some my top staffers like everybody's gonna eat like really well off that. But not Stern. Stern would always be like, "Oh my God, you're selling shirts, you're selling CDs, you're selling this, that. You're only doing that because I'm so big and you can't eat off me like that." So he would be like, "No, you can't be doing all this shit." This is the epitome of that, like, and way harsher, where you're selling a phone case and you think you're going to get $600 for it. I'm glad you didn't get $600 for it. Why are you selling things? And then the WWE is no better. They get this WWE club these days. Fuck the WWE club. Club WWE. I would love to club WWE. So they're going to give us what? If you sign up, I've been getting emails about this for weeks. I got it here somewhere. I might as well look at my notes for once, right? Where are you? Club WWE. Yeah, there's a lot of notes. A lot of old notes, too. I guess I'm going to have to do this from the top of my head because I've written a Stephen King novel here. I don't know what page it's on. Anyway, it's not really giving you much. You pay for a monthly service. I think it comes out to like $100 a year. And then you get access to limited items. You get to buy tickets first, which is like the timing of this is all very ironic because news has been for the past couple of weeks that the SummerSlam coming up, the 2-night SummerSlam, don't forget. We got 2-night everything's coming around. 2-night SummerSlam. And they're in like a 60, 70,000, seat stadium and they've only sold 20 to 25,000 tickets per night. So it's going to look empty as fuck. They're going to have to push everybody down and then really produce this thing to make it so they don't look at all the empty seats. But hey, lower your prices. You're getting a little we've been talking about this for years. You are going crazy. I was just at a Raw, it feels like yesterday. I guess it was several years ago. But, I wanted front row tickets, $230, $250, second row, whatever, it's like around there for a SmackDown. Guess what the SmackDown was last night? It was like $800. Nobody paying for that. And Rhea's Jigsaw? She kind of is to me. She gives me Jigsaw vibes. Totally. Hit the like button. So, how about that story? Some more scary news. Charles Manson, right? The word is, I don't know if you kids have been hip to all this hearing stuff. We get to hear a lot from the hearings on everything. Then they go in the secret, and then they do the real court stuff. And we don't get to know so much about that. But just in the hearings, we got to find out that the MK Ultra business, the stuff Dr. Hughes has been talking about on the CSWNN for many, many years, guess what? It's actual factual. Yup. Real shit. And they actually talked about specifically Charles Manson. And remember, months ago, we were talking about how Bray Wyatt wanted to get in a business with Charles Manson, maybe even do some promos going to a high supermax prison, whatever. Because, he was a performer. He was a guitarist. He was in bands. He was amongst the operatives, right? I knew all about this stuff. So I know Bray did too. And that's probably what he wanted to get involved in, that type of thing. But of course, it wasn't a go because, he's a murderer and stuff. So allegedly, I don't know. I guess he's convicted. He's been in there for a while. I'm just saying, that was real. That Stranger Things type stuff. Maybe not with the upside down world and all that. Maybe not. But the experiments were real. Huh? Cool, huh? So, listen, just keep watching your Dancing with the Stars and everything will be okay. Everybody, right? I'm just a silly, crazy guy that talks about wrestling and conspiracies in the entertainment world. What do I know? What do I know? Probably, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. But I do hear things that they say, and boy, at these hearings lately, they love talking about UFOs and mind control and demons, and it's pretty crazy stuff, and everybody else out here, the rank and file people are just like, football, World Cup. Did you hear a skinny pop star got married to a football player? Wow. People are paying for her trash from the wedding. Because we live in an idiocracy. Bunch of morons who just die hard over these nobodies. These people are hacks. Taylor Swift, a fucking hack, bro. Her dad basically made her famous. Remember Hulk Hogan, the great legendary Hulkamania? He tried to get his daughter over the same way. Remember, he bought her Scott Storch and all the top producers in the game. He was spending millions on her outfits and the pop tours and this and that. It never manifested, but it just happened to for this chick. It's the same type of deal. It's a gamble. She happened to win, but to go out there and lip sync and all that, like, come on, bro. What is going on with the world? Give me, I need the Jedi powers. I heard there's going to be a solar flare or something soon. That's when we'll get it, Paladin. We'll all turn into the X-Men. You know, these are more... Listen, I may be conspiratorial because if you don't think there's a conspiracy going on, then why the fuck would the courts have anything called a conspiracy then to indict you with if it didn't exist? You mean to tell me one or two people can't get together and conspire to do things? You see it all over the place. So the whole idea of the conspiracy theory is more real than what you think is reality. And even conspiracy theory, the term, came from the CIA, and conspiracy theorists love talking about that, telling the normies, oh, did you know that the whole thing to dismiss it? But again, nobody cares. Especially the ladies. Like, again, like I said, you bring this stuff up to the ladies. It's just like, get this nerd out of here. We don't want to know nothing. And I say, well, what, have you seen the new Momoa movie? The Jason Momoa movie? That's right. That's what it's named after, right? I don't know. Braun Breakers, he's upset lately. He is not happy with the way that he's been being booked. Which, join the fucking club, bro. I don't like it. The fans don't like it. And most of your coworkers, they don't like the way they're being booked either. And when it comes to relationship angles, you know, Austin Theory is smashing Maxine Dupree supposedly now. We don't like that. Because we just watched her hanging out with her boyfriend on LFG for months on end. You're trying to make the boyfriend into a thing. Now she's banging Austin Theory and a bad guy gang? And everybody kind of like... Again, when you're trying to pull works, you want them to come off as shoots, right? Right? That's what you want. I thought. But maybe not. You don't even give a shit anymore. So you're going to go, we know everybody knows this is a go. How about you guys just date on TV? And now Charlotte Flair's out here going, I need somebody to date. I've never dated anybody on TV before. No, you don't. You don't need it. You really don't need it, Charlotte. Don't force it. And if you're going to do it, hook her up with somebody that's single. Or at least single in the scene of the fans and things. So maybe people would think, oh, is this real? The Liv and Dom thing was way better because nobody knew who until now, right? Liv Morgan, your boyfriend is a Christo-fascist. I've never really heard that, but that, you know. That we have other words for that around here. I'm not going to say it now. I don't want my channel taken down by the Christo-fascists. But you see what I'm saying. Like, there's so much. I'm the Brian Alvarez of the WWE, really. Like, I'm like, bro, you guys, you got handpicked the talent you want all over the world, and you can't manage to do anything with it. How is that possible? You have so much money. You're owned by TKO. You ignore people like Dr. Huge. Braun Breaker is a superstar. He's in a tag team right now. And he ain't even like the top guy in his tag team. The top guy in the tag team is banging Maxine and has one of the titles, right? Because they all have the title. And then Logan Paul is fighting with Tom Brady. What is Braun Breaker doing? Doing this? While he's squatting? Is that it? I think that's it. That's all they got for you. Jordan Grace, what do they got for you? Oh, you're the size of a fucking Big Mama Pump, right? You're a Big Mama Pump. You can do things, right? I'm telling you, her promos weren't very good. The last several I've heard on WWE TV on the main roster. But I'll tell you this, I don't think it's her fault. It's the way they're writing it. Again, you're not giving her anything. And it's so fucking easy. Look at her. You can't do anything with Jordan?
And here she is, Jordan Butterface Grace. Lee, everything looks good, Butterface. Butterface.
What? Is that why? It can't be why. Because she is not bad looking, first of all. Jim. Trips. Second of all, she's got the look. She's got the stuff. She's been working forever. She knows what she's doing. Get her involved with something. Where's Dragunov? Is he a Butterface too?
Butterface.
Maybe. Dragunov's probably top 5 wrestler that you got. You want somebody to build a match, like build up into it, get in the intensity. I'm all about, with wrestling, there has to be some intense shit going down where he's always fired up. He wants to fight people, and then the matches look real. So if he's not injured, you guys are dumb fucks, okay? Because he's a slam dunk. That's like, when Walter started coming around, it's like, can we get this going? Plus, one of the biggest matches ever that I've seen the past 10 years, Walter and Dragunov in the NXT UK, which ain't even around anymore. Can we get back to this? Why does it take you guys so long to do these things, except for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? They're going to feud with each other for millions of years, but Trick Williams, Carmelo, all the other people we were talking about before, can't do that for them. Got it. And then this. This is your AEW champion, folks. Just look at this for a minute. I'm going to take a quick break because I got to rest the old vocal cords. And you never know, I still could have a guest today. I may even send links out to anybody out here if you want to come on the show. I need to bullshit with somebody. I mean, I can do this for the next couple of hours, but I know people like to hear from other people. They like to see other people. But just gaze and gawk upon, what's his name? Kenny Omega. This is from Sissy Boy Slap Fight. I think that's the name of it. And listen to this tune. I'm going to take a quick bathroom bio break. I think that's what we used to call it. And you just fucking wait. Share the show while I'm doing this.
Hey everybody, this is WWE Godfather, and I want you to listen to Dr. Hugenstein's radio show, man. He keeps it pimping. Peace out, everybody.
It's time once again for everybody to get on the Soul Train.
That's right. We're back. Whoa. I sent out a few links. See if anybody's around this afternoon. If not, that's fine. I got clips. I got things to talk about here. And we refilled. We're ready to go. I'm probably got another hour or two in me. Maybe I'll be here all night. You know what else we got to do today? How about this? Let's look at this. So, first of all, I'm on Whatnot. It's an app. It's legit. I know when people are like, hey, sign up to this. Or I put the invite out on the social medias. There's not only comic books on here. There's, you can buy cards, all kinds of collectibles, computer stuff, clothes, new stuff, sneakers, blah, blah, blah. But Whatnot is actually a pretty good app to use. And they vet the people really well. I went through the whole vetting process, so they want to make sure what you have for inventory, because they just don't let anybody on with that has a few things to sell, and they actually have an interview process. So I remember going on to one of these things and talking to it's only 20-year-old intern that's holding these web meetings to let everybody know what it is and what they expect and blah, blah, blah. But it's, I buy off there a lot too, because it's an auction site and it's pretty fun if you have, there's some shows that are actually really good. For the most part, people are just selling things, so they're not so much fun. My show's fun because I'm Dr. Huge, and first and foremost, I'm trying to entertain, but then I also want to, sell things. That would be nice, but the people that sell the most are just doing a podcast. They're just doing a show. They got giveaways. I won a giveaway. I won this. Look at that. I forget the guy's name. I'm sorry, guy, but I hit you with a good review. I like to give everybody a good review. I have 5 stars myself. So, it's cool. It's not an amazing comic or anything, but it's old, and I like me some Spider-Man. I'll probably give this away myself on the next show I do. I got the first Intelligent Hulk. So if you don't know, I'm a key guy, and it's in great condition too. No spine ticks or anything. So, yep. This is the first book where he actually is like smart. It is the biggest book of them all that I picked up. And I got this so cheap. That's the other thing. You can get so many cheap things on this whatnot. This is the first appearance of Kamala Khan. Miss Marvel up here. That one. She's kind of like Mr. Fantastic, and then she was written as like the first mutant X-Men recently. I think that's what they're going with the MCU, like how they're trying to mesh that. But anyway, this is it was called a fine copyright. It's got one tick right here that's a color breaker. For those that know, that's not great, but it's still, other than that, this thing is perfect. So I got a first Kamala Khan. I'm sure I'll resell that way. That someday I'll resell that because I just don't care about Kamala Khan like that. But it's cool to get it for $10. And then if you don't know, the Nightfall cartoon is coming out. And I never owned this, but now I do. So these are the new books. I think that's Azrael is the new Batman after he got his back broken. Cool, huh? So I'm out here, but I'm still buying books. I tried to buy some Absolute this week. Absolute DC is making the comic books all come back because people are so pumped about it. All these first appearances of the new Joker and the new Two-Face and the new everything, right? And I just happened to stop buying books like a few months before it all debuted, and I missed out. Now all these fucking books I could have got for $5. I had a whole routine where I was buying regularly, pre-orders. I can't even pre-order this shit anymore. They're gone. You got to pre-order it like months and months in advance. Crazy. But I don't know. I'm probably just going to end up with an omnibus or some trade paperbacks of the Absolute stuff. I'm not one of these flippers out here. I'm actually a collector first. So, but either way, go check out my Whatnot store. I got a bunch of books up there right now. I will be doing a show eventually. Check it out. And of course, hit the subscribe button here. Notifications, all that stuff. Even you, Sami Zayn. Come back, Sami Zayn. I know you and Sammy Owens, Kevin Owens, you both blocked me on the same day. I was so upset. I cried myself to sleep all night. All night. Couldn't even sleep. In other news, I got Netflix again, right, for the Monday Night Raw. I'm like, hey, man, it seems like 3 good Monday Night Raws in a row. I'm going to give it a shot again. So they better hit it out of the park this week. But while, I got that, I'm like, oh, is there anything new on this Netflix? And there is. We got 28 Days Later, which is one of my favorite franchises. 28 Days Later and Weeks Later are both good. Days Later's classic. Weeks is very good. And these 2 new ones, I like the second one better than the first one, even though it's the same movie. And there is another one coming out, a third. I think it's a trilogy. The way this is left open as well. The Bone Temple, the second one. I'm not going to give any spoilers, But I will give you a few things of what goes on in the movie. At least in the first one. I watched them both, but the first one, the criticism I have with it is the pretentiousness of the shots. Like, we get it. There's a lot of like beautiful areas, right? And that's what people talk about in the comments and in the reviews and stuff all the time. But that's, for me, that's a lot of fast forwarding, because I fast forward through most things now, TV shows and movies when I watch them. And I did a lot of fast forwarding because there was a lot of still shots. Ooh, look at the sky and the greenery and the this and the that, because, you know, they're over there in the UK. That bothered me. The beginning where the countdown from the old lady, it sounds like, and it's supposed to be like scary themed because of that, you know, where she's doing like the weird countdown. That doesn't even make any sense. It's just, it comes off as you're forcing it, the scary, when it should just be scary. And then, you know me and my zombie movies, I don't want zombies being smart. I don't want them to be, oh, I was a zombie one day and then you cooked up a cure for me or something. I don't want any of that horse shit. No, they're not smart. They're dead, right? But apparently, these ones aren't necessarily dead. They're just infected. And they let you know that pretty early. Or it could have been Resident Evil I watched last night, because I tried to start watching the Resident Evil series. It's a whole nother story. Maybe I'll get into that. But the first one, 28 years later, is okay. Because the whole kid taking his mother out, trying to get her, fixed up by a doctor, whatever, mentally, physically. And the thing that puts it over the top, the zombies acting a little bit smart, or pregnant zombies. You have a pregnant zombie out here, bro? In what seemed like possibly, I don't know if they haven't come through with this story yet. Was it a family of zombies or something? You actually had families on, like, nah. Over here, we call that.
It's the shits.
The shits. Terrible. But then again, it did look nice. The story was cool for the most part. And then the second one was, it was really all about the Satanist guy. You know, the kid that was watching the Teletubbies and watched people get killed, and then he became psycho. And that was cool too. Second one definitely better than the first, but then we still got the third coming up. And there you go. There's your Siskel and Ebert moment of the show. We're done with that. Man, I got some older notes too. LA Knight and Seth Rollins promo. That was amazing. Pretty sure we talked about that last week. Dark Side of the Ring, TNA stuff is pretty good. I haven't caught the second part, but I will, even though I know most of it. The funny stuff to me is hopefully they get into the Bubba the Love Sponge, how he went to TNA and was supposed to give his fans tickets and things, and then they weren't able to get in. They were like spitting on him. Oh man, I want to hear that story. Bubba's been out here getting into it with everybody in the wrestling business. I can't pinpoint it. I know I probably liked it and have it on the X machine somewhere. Maybe we'll find it later. But shout out to you, Bubba. You know what he's famous for, right? I hope so. Jey Uso files for divorce. He's another one. Yep. Hey, it's news. And for months leading up to this, we all know that, he's been porking Jada Parker, I think. Possibly sideways even. But she's getting all the yeet, right?
Yeet, yeet, yeet. Yeet, 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 yeet.
And they're both annoying to me. As far as character form, I'm sure they're fine people, but Jey Uso, how he acts all like, and then Jada Parker comes out and acts like a bad, like, program kid, juvenile delinquent. Ugh. Anyway, Paladin Resident Evil series has Blade in one of the episodes. No, it doesn't. I'm going to keep watching it then. You better not be lying. If Blade shows up, I'll be pumped. And the thing about it, I watched the first episode last night. I didn't hate it. But I was also like, okay, chicks, right? People of color like Dr. Huge, like really forced. It didn't feel legit. It could, I don't care about any of that stuff, but it's just, when you're forcing it, it's just like, okay, so this chick's just gonna go around and fucking spin kick everybody like all the other Resident Evil stuff that doesn't make any sense. Because I never liked any of the Resident Evil series. I don't mind the way that they went. It was more of like an Aeon Flux type way that they did all their movies. But I just remember seeing the first one. I got a bootleg tape of it because I was working at a video rental store back in the day. And I'm watching it. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
It's the shits.
I'm like, I know this is a video game movie, but you got all these big actors and actresses in it, and this is what I got. So people seem to like it, and then they made several more. And to me, they're all like made for sci-fi, channel type movies. So, nah. But who knows? Maybe it will get better. Probably won't get better, because now the sisters are going to find each other, and they were there in the beginning, and it was all their fault that this probably even happened in the first place. It's how they kind of make it seem at the moment. But we'll see. Probably still the shits, though.
It's the shits.
So get well, Jey Uso. All the POCs in Resident Evil. Netflix giving me a lot of problems. I don't know how I signed up for them this week again. I guess it was just for WWE, but they really don't like me, Dr. Huge, taking clips and making my promo edits. They try to block them outright, and they do block some of them outright. It's funny the ones they pick. They do not want me showing Penta. They block it outright. If I make anything with Penta in the from a Raw and he's talking, they're like, nope, nobody can see it now. We don't care how long it took you to make these videos. Nobody's going to see it. Without AI, by the way. Man, some of these stories are fucking old. Like Bud Light possibly dropping Dustin Poirier. That was a whole story because he got drunk. Right? What a bad move that would be because, listen, it is a very deep topic, right? Or is it where somebody that's a celebrity has sponsorships, gets drunk, acts a fool at an airport, but then afterwards says he's going to go get the help he knows he needs. And then one of his sponsorships are going to let him go because, we sell booze and he did get drunk. So that would be a horrific look. I don't think they actually went through with it. Otherwise, I think there would have been a bigger outcry. So there's that. But Sean Strickland, he sticks his fucking nose into everything now. He thinks he's Eddie Murphy on Raw. He thinks he's Dave Chappelle during the Dave Chappelle show, and he's the funniest guy and everything, and he's even sticking up for him and everything. Like, bro, I don't care. Like, you're not really that funny. Go in there and punch people in the face. That's your job. Being based and all this. I don't care for all that. He's like an edgelord, and it's cringe. Paladin, one of the characters looks like Blade in one of the episodes. It's just funny. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to report back. But just as of now, it's like the girl the main character, at least from the first episode, she has the same hairdo in her 20s that she did when she was like in middle school. Got it. Right. It's just silly. I get it. It's a silly zombie show, but based off a video game, it's just, Can we make it seem like it might be a little like where we can lose ourselves in it? But we got girl bosses everywhere. So the hero is going to be girl boss and the villain's going to be the other girl boss and their sister. They're like, all right, got it. The only way it will make it work for me is if they go, Leslie, they absolutely started the apocalypse. And I'll be like, okay. Because that makes sense. They're vegans that want to release the rabbits or something, I think, from the first episode. And yeah. Yep. CM Hogan, we don't need to talk about you. Roger Jackson in jail, yep. Sheamus and the New Day still not seen in wrestling at all. Still speculation about it. David Spade. Oh, David Spade news. I wrote this down. This is from a week or so ago, but remember David Spade? One of the funniest things about him, right? Well, there's a couple stories. I used to have a guy that would come on the show, and back in the MySpace days, he had a character for himself, an account called Drunk Kenny Rogers from Mad TV. Remember that character? So that was his profile, and he started getting into it with David Spade to the point where David Spade was like communicating back with him and fighting with him and stuff online and everything. It was a whole thing. Hilarity ensued, right? But then David Spade also was on Stern a bunch, and he would go on there. And Stern one time had this Playboy model, or wanted to be a Playboy model. She was like a 17-year-old about to turn 18 and get into the business, right? The business, the Diddy business. And she wanted to go to Hollywood, and her dream was to be in Playboy. So, of course, she left her boyfriend and left her little small town behind and went to Hoover It Up or whatever in California. And they were even joking about it. Like, oh, Pauly Shore is going to be banging you soon, and David Spade and all this. Come to find out, a couple months later, she's at the Playboy Mansion and all this, and David Spade knocked her up. By accident, of course. So she's like, yes, got David Spade's baby, going to take all his money and things like that. And David Spade's probably, oh, what the fuck? And now, recently, I've seen some asshole blonde on here. She had leaked like a bunch of his texts. I didn't even read them. I don't care. You know what? Black Sheep was like 1,000,000 years ago, bro. I don't care about David Spade. But she's releasing his texts. And it just reminded me of all these other chicks that like were the one with Julian Edelman one time and a few other, celebrities and athletes where they're taking pictures of them sleeping and woof. You guys need to calm down, bro. So shout out to you, David Spade. Hope you get better. That's going to be a tough battle to fight. You're going to have baby mamas all over the place. I wonder if that Black Sheep and Tommy Boy bag is still hitting like that. Anyway. Man, some of these notes are super old. So old, one says the Vision done as a faction? ? Because they look like they were almost done. Paul Heyman left. He's like, you got Maxine. Now she's going to take over. So he saw himself out. He's back being the advocate of Brock Lesnar, which is fine. It's just this Vision deal. It's wonky. And I get why Braun Breaker doesn't like it. I get why Austin likes it. I get why Logan Paul likes it. But not Braun Breaker. So get him out of there sooner than later, Triple H. Thank you. It's what we all want. All right, no need to talk about that. Vikingo's injured. Had a banger match with Phoenix a week or so ago in SmackDown. We talked about that before. Nikki Blackheart is in the WWE. She called Vulcan something. I don't know. Big, thick Cuban girl. So the people are going to love that. Omega is AEW champ, which you saw. The Rock bombs again. I'm just crossing off notes so we don't go back to him. We don't care about Punk or Cody. Saturday night main event is tonight. We're not going over it because I'm not watching it. And really, what's the main event? Danhausen versus the kid from Judgment Day. Yep. Rick Grimes is coming. I hear there's going to be more Walking Dead. And I told everybody for years ago that this was going to happen. Walking Dead is going to be like Star Trek in the future. And it is. They're killing it. Even as much as everybody says it stinks, it sucks. Well, they're still making shows. And I want it. Give me more Daryl Dixon. Give me more Dead City. And then give me more of this. I'll watch it all. We talked about the low tickets at SummerSlam. Here's one thing. And this is not like a news story. It's just seems to be popping up every year or so. The Shield. The way that they're talked about by the Shield members is fucking cringe. Because Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, the Shield is the greatest faction ever. No, it isn't.
Acknowledge me.
Not even close. It's not even top 5, bro. Why? Because the 20-something-year-olds remember you guys being in the Shield as kids? That doesn't make you the best, right? They actually, when they first came around, they didn't even get me back into wrestling. That was still the period where I wasn't watching. So you couldn't have been that much better. Seth Rollins solo was better than the Shield. Seth Rollins 2015, better than that whole Shield shit. In my personal expert opinion. But hey, I wasn't a 10-year-old in the year 2010, right? So, there's that. Like 3 guys that they just bring up at the same time to go beat up everybody. You're the best faction. Nah. And Dean Ambrose was like your mouthpiece. From what I've seen, they Rollins and Reigns never really spoke. It was all Dean Ambrose. And that ain't even his name anymore. Right? Where are you, Dean Ambrose?
I love black guys.
We love you too.
It's such good shit.
Mm-hmm. Where's Mitch McConnell? I wrote that down. Where in the world is Mitch McConnell? Do you see the AI picture they put out of him? In his jeans in like a hospital bed with a newspaper that was clearly AI. And then Lindsey Graham, right? He just comes back from a trip overseas from the Ukraine and got sick and died. That's the news. Then here's a tribute. Sayonara. Nothing else to see here, right? Got it. The World Cup's still going on. I think the big game's on this weekend. I haven't watched a second of it. Who cares? Kick a ball around. 0-0 games. I hope the final turns out to be 0-0. Or they make them play so long because it's 0-0 for like 9 hours. I hope that's the final game. Could the final game end 0-0 and like in a tie? Right? It could. I know that you can have extra time, right? But what if nobody scores then either? Because we're too busy kicking the ball back and forth midfield. So my prediction, 9.5-hour game, 0-0. And eventually they just go, you know what? Let's just end this. You're both the champions. McGregor blows his leg out. I got all ready for it. I had Paramount for another couple days because, you know, the way I do things, I cancel things subscribe, cancel when there are things to watch. I'm not paying you for nothing. So I went, oh my God, the big Conor McGregor return is coming back tonight. So I tuned in. It was like 11:30 by the time he started walking out. Blew his leg out immediately. And I kind of buy it. I know, and again, this is me, a conspiratorial-minded person, but I thought he was definitely hurt. He was moving around pretty well before I saw him training backstage and everything. I'm like, yeah, I don't see anything funny. Then he came out and did that weird kick and he twisted his leg off. I mean, the guy's almost 40, right? So if not already in his 40s, so shit happens, you know? But man, that was, it's not a good look, especially when you're getting paid like $30-40 million. I don't know. You guys are going to have to keep an eye on him for me. He better be limping around right now. That's for sure. What else we got? Oh my God, all the PS5 news, the quartering, Howard Stern talk. I mean, I can't believe I'm still talking about him in this day and age, but he is, he fired a bunch of staffers, I guess, and going to 1 day a week. Have you noticed in wrestling and everywhere else, everybody's getting paid a lot less? And they're going, do you want to keep working for us? Well, how about 70% off your contract? And then Sheamus and the New Day and Howard Stern are like, oh, can't do it. Not for that little. So shout out to you, Stern. I mean, it should have been a wrap like 2013. I think 2013 would have been the sweet spot for you to go, you know what? We're done here. We've lost it. We're the male view now. Yep. All right, we talked about that. We talked about this. I think we're done. We did it again, right? I should come with more shows during the week. But you know how it is. Life gets in the way. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button now, and hit the notifications, because there will be some shows that are going to pop up randomly during the week, and you want to be staying tuned for it. And I'm going to be booking. I got to get to booking. You know, these people aren't going to book themselves, so we're going to get to that, and you won't have to deal with just looking and listening to me all the time. But in the meantime, you can look and listen to this. All the promo edits on the channel, the shorts, hang out with us during the lives and things. Who knows? Maybe I'll come back tonight. You never know. I do have a lot more notes. I have a lot more dabbled news and clips to talk about. So maybe we'll do that this evening, tomorrow, and again this week or whatever. But thanks for hanging, and we'll talk to you guys later. All right? Have a good rest of your day, and come check me on the Twitch machine maybe later. I might do a little gaming as well. You know? Sayonara.